सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। उपनिषद केन उपनिषद Shishya asked a question, Kau Deva Yunakti, and teacher gave the answer as Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manaha, etc. A direct question, but an answer was indirect. Usually we also do this. If somebody asks, how are you? We don't say, I am fine. What has happened to me? I am fine. The person just asked, how are you? We can say, I am fine. Yeah, I am fine. That is one answer. Life is going on. The person has asked, how are you? Life is going on. So he only should think, why did I ask? The person should think, why did I ask? So a direct question, the answer is indirect, or answer is mischievous way. Here also, what is that divine principle which is helping all my karmendriyani, jnanendriyani to function? The teacher would have told that consciousness principle, Atma Tattvam, itself is the answer. But he said Shrotrasya Shrotram and etc. And then the teacher asked, I want your reply. And the reply was equally mischievous, which we also find it very tough to decode that shloka. He said, I know Brahman. First sentence is, I know Brahman. Not that I don't consider I know Brahman, not that I don't know Brahman. I know, I don't know. Something like that it was. So I know Brahman from the context of as a subject, I know that is Brahman is the knower. I don't know Brahman from the context of as an object, I don't know. As a subject, I know Brahman because Brahman happens to be the knower, very subject, and that is me. I don't know Brahman because it is an object, I don't know. If Brahman is considered as an object, I don't know. If Brahman is considered as a subject, I know that Brahman is knower. This is what the answer the Shishya gave, and Guru was equally happy. And the Shishya said, whoever knows this, whoever understand my question, Kau Deva Yunakti, and whoever understands your reply, that is teacher reply as Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manaha, and whoever has understand my way of answering your reply, all the other students in the class have understood. And then the Upanishad is over with that, and now Upanishad is winding up. So in the second chapter, the last shloka we have to see, that is the fifth one. With that, the Upanishad winds up. So what it says is, we will read that mantra. Second chapter, fifth. Iha ched aveditha satyamasti na ched iha vedi mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha प्रेत्यास्मात् लोकात् अमृता भवन्ति। Upanishad is conveying a message to all of us, saying that it is worthwhile to study this subject, study the Brahma Vidya, or know what is Brahma Vidya. All the other study is of utter waste. These words you should tell, it should not come from my mouth. All the other vidyas, what we are studying is of utter waste. And if we don't know Brahma Vidya and if we know something else, it is also waste. Because, so I am getting some guidance here. In the name of Brahma Vidya, we think something else we are doing, that is Brahma Vidya, then it is also waste. Are you getting my point? We feel that whatever we are doing in our day-to-day activities, that we feel it is like Brahma Vidya. That is also equally useless. Here says, Iha ched avedhita. Iha, here in this birth, may you understand or may you give time for Brahma Vidya, the spiritual knowledge. Atha satyamasti. Satyamasti means give importance to this Brahma Vidya. Iha ched, here itself. Iha means here, ched avedhita. If one knows what is Brahman, the consciousness principle, atha satyam. Satya means he truly knows his life is fulfilled. The goal of life is fulfilled. What is your goal if somebody asks? It depending upon the stage we are in. We have many goals. Yes, sir. You ask an SSLC person, what is the goal? He says just to pass. Goals keep on changing. But according to the Upanishad, goal is only one, knowing of my true nature, identity. Here itself. So spend more time for Shastric study. Only through Shastric study, we can know our own nature. Nachediha veti mahati vinashtihi. If in this birth, if you don't give value for this Brahma Vidya, the spiritual knowledge, it is a great loss. Mahati vinashtihi, a great loss. Think. So having known this Brahma Vidya, what is that? Brahma Satyam, Jaganmithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Napara is the teaching in all the Upanishads. Brahma Satyam, Shrotrasya Shrotram, Tat Brahma Satyam. Jagat Mithya or Jagan Mithya. It is not there. It is there for our perception. Truly, it is not there. Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. The fact that Jivatma and Paramatma are not different, we are feeling it as different because of Jagat Satyatvam. Jivatma and Paramatma are seen as two different entities because of Jagat Satyatvam. Jagat Satyatvam means what? Seeing the world as real or giving reality to the world and all the happenings in the world. If Jagan Mithya is understood, Jiva is also Mithya Bhuta only. The Jivatma, that Tvamness, that individuality is also Mithya Bhuta. Because the individuality relies on the Jagat. Brahma Satyam agreed. Nobody has a doubt in that. Brahman or God is Satyam. But Jagat is Mithya. That is what morning Shungeri Jagadguru Sri Vidushekar Bharati Mahaswamigal in his Anugraha Bhashanam told. Whoever has seen 50 minutes of Anugraha Bhashanam, today he says Vardhanti. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne वीतरागम विवेकिनम वंदे वेदांत तत्वज्ञम विधुशेखर भारती. Brahma Satyam, Swamiji said, Brahma Satyam is also difficult, is what he said. Because what we cannot see, we are telling it is Satyam, according to Swamiji, Jagadguru. What we are seeing, that is world, is Mithya, we are telling. Very nicely he presented. Satyam is Brahma, that is God. We are not seeing, but the way it is shown is that it is Satyam. Not seen is Satyam. But what we are seeing is Jagat, we are telling it is Mithya. So what I would say is Brahma Satyam, yes, at least we can agree that God is Satyam because we are all Astikas. Jagan Mithya is very difficult to accept because the very fact of Jivatvam, what we have, is dependent upon Jagat Satyatvam. If we are negating the Jivatva also. If we negate Jivatva, then Jagat is also not there. Then Jivo Brahmaiva Napara becomes easy. That knowledge comes from the teaching of Brahma Vidya. If we don't know this Ekavakya, which Adi Shankaracharya has given, the famous Advaitic statement, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. If we don't put effort in understanding this, Mahati Vinashti. Because Jivatva brings samsara. Jivatva brings samsara. Bhuteshu Bhuteshu Vichitya Dhiraha. Bhuteshu means all the living beings. The wise men Dhiraha clearly see in all the living beings that one consciousness principle. That means that I as consciousness principle is present in every one of you. The wise man will see is there in the statement in the mantra. The wise man will see the consciousness principle in every one of them. But how we should make the sentence? I as consciousness principle will see my own self in every one of them. That is the teaching. That is the transformation. Jnani will see as consciousness principle in every one of them. That is fine. But that has to be applied for me also, no? As a sadhak. So I will make a statement as I, as the consciousness principle, will see my own self in all the reflections. That is Bhuteshu Bhuteshu, in all the beings. If I am seeing all of you here, it is my own reflection. That should be the teaching. If you are seeing me, your own higher self is in me also getting reflected. Bhuteshu Bhuteshu Vichitya Dhira. Vichitya means very clearly he is seeing. The clearness comes from Jnanam. The fact that he has understood the teaching. Pretyasmad loka amruta bhavanti. He attains immortality. Means he attains Jivan Mukti while living and Videha Mukti after the Deha falls. So know that this Upanishadic knowledge is very rare to get. We should have done a lot of punyam to study this Upanishad. Not only Upanishad, to enter into the Shastra. It won't come easily. Durlabam trayame vaitata devanugraha hetukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha samshaya. How many of us can get this knowledge? Tell me. When it is freely available. Jantunaham narajanma durlabam pumstvam tato viprataha tasmat vaidika dharma marga parataha vidvatvamasmat param atmanatma vivechana svanubhavo brahmatmana samstutihi muktirno shatakoti janma sukrutair punyer vina na labhyate. Until gaining Vedanta, Punya is required. After gaining Vedantic knowledge, Punya also not required. That after the knowledge, Punya also becomes Bandhana. We have to make enough Punyam, we have to earn enough Punyam until the Vedantic study, until coming closer to the Guru. Coming closer to the Guru means what? Hearing the Shastra from Guru's mouth. After that, Punya becomes Bandhana. Just like that pole vault example. Having come closer to the Guru in the form of learning from the teacher, we will drop that Punya, which is the pole, because we have already reached that side of the Guru. So he or she will take care of us. That should be our attitude. That pole vault example we give for something else, but it can be used for this also. For this means what? For coming closer to the Upanishadic study. Nobody will get this kind of Upanishadic study. Somehow maybe all of you have done Punyam. We are just discussing. Neha Vikramanashosti. Second chapter Gita. Neha Vikrama Pratyavayo Neha Adragadal Hedra Neha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate mahato bhayat Swalpam dharmasya iham karoti. Swalpa. It will protect you from greatest fear. Fear is what? Samsara. Little bit of Upanishadic study will help you cross over the fear. Fear means samsara. That has to be done here, right now. Anyways, with this, the Upanishad is complete. The teaching of Nirguna Brahman is complete. Nirguna Brahman as my own nature, Swarupa. In the third and fourth chapter, it is story. Whoever can't understand this teaching, it is a story. So here in all of you who have not understood the first and second chapter can follow third and fourth chapter. So everybody say that I have understood. I don't need this third and fourth. ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಿರ್ಗುಣ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ್ ಅಹಮಸ್ಮಿ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಡ, ಅದು ಕಥೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. I will not go in details. I'll just give a summary. Maybe we'll chant once. What it says is, Upanishad introduces God, Saguna Ishvara, here in the third chapter, where it has 12 mantras, and continuation in the fourth chapter also. First 2 mantras continuing the story, and then another 4 meditational practices, and then Karma Yoga is prescribed. See, for gaining moksha, as Chitta Shuddhi also, we need Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga. Even if not understood the Vedantic teaching, again we have to go back. In fact, in the fourth chapter of this Upanishad, in the 7th mantra, the Upanishad criticizes the person who says, "Ella sound barta ide." Upanishad says that you continue the Karma Yoga because your mind is dull-witted, manda buddhi. So what it says is, Upanishad introduces a Saguna Brahman, that is Ishvara, and Ishvara will test the other devatas. Ishvara, the God, will test other devatas. Usually in the war between devatas and asuras, with the help of the Lord, all the devatas will win the battle against asuras. This is generally. And this is with the help of the Lord. Devatas by themselves cannot win the war. Though they have mighty power, asuras also are having the mighty power with some grace. Because why devatas and asuras are devatas are unique than asuras? Because devatas have some higher sattva guna. Because of that higher sattva guna and belief in the existence of Saguna Ishvara, they will win the war. But at times, what happens? Every time when they win the war, a certain ego comes to them. What happens when a war happened between Asura and Deva? All the Devas like Indra, Varuna, Agni, Marut, they said, the war we have won by themselves, means by ourselves. We did not need the help of the Lord, the Ishvara. Then naturally the ego became big. Then the Lord wanted to test them. And how did they test? Lord said, called Agni first and said, Agni, what are you doing? Who are you? What is your nature? What are you capable of? Then Agni said, I am an Agni person. I can burn anything in the world, anything on the earth. Then the Lord said, can you burn this blade of grass? Yes, I can do it. Then please burn. He could not burn. Not even an iota of the grass could be burnt. Agni is great. All the mantras in Rigveda starts with, or most of the mantras in the Rigveda is only for Agni. He could not even burn. Then he goes disappointed. The Upanishad mantra elaborately explains, we will see that. Then Vayu will come. Even what does he do? Ishvara will ask, what is your name? What is the role you are doing? How much powerful you are? They say, Vayu said, I am the Marut. I can take everything away through the power of wind. Can you move this grass a bit? He could not do. Then Indra came. Even Indra could not do. Then they understood because of their ego, they are not able to see the Lord. Clearly, how we should understand this story for our understanding, when we have too much of ego here means when we have too much of Deha Abhimana, Vedanta will not work for us. The existence of Brahman itself become a questionable thing for us. Ego in the Devatas means Dhamba, Dharpa with respect to Devatas. Because Devatas can see anything and everything. For them only, the Saguna Ishvara was not available because of their ego. That Saguna Ishvara we have to understand as the existence of Brahman, the consciousness. None of us are able to accept the consciousness, the reality, because we also are having the same ego issues. Ego we have to understand as Deha Abhimana, more grossification, body grossification. Body means grossification. Thinking always about body, always about my mind. Vedanta will not work, not only in this Janma, in any Janma it will work. It won't work. Then after this, because of the Sattva Guna of the Devatas, Uma Haimavati, a first character as Bhagavati, Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, in Puranas, usually the god forms will come. Yeah, like the Vishnu, Ganapati, Shiva, Devi. Here in Samaveda, that is part of Kena Upanishad, Uma Haimavati is introduced as a form. So the Purana, the basis for Puranic forms is taken from this Kena Upanishad. So Haimavati comes as a guru to teach Indra, Varuna, Agni as whatever Lord you saw, it is nothing but the consciousness principle. And then she instructs saying that drop your Damba and Ahankara and surrender to the teacher, that is Haimavati, and she teaches Brahma Vidya to all these Devatas. And she instructs 4 Upasanas and Karma Yoga, and then they also realize us. So here, in the first 2 classes, I said, I don't know what is this meditation about, like lightning meditation, flash meditation, vritti thought meditation. Then Ashirvad here told that because he is a Samaveda Pandit, he has studied full Samaveda. So meditation or Upasana here doesn't mean closing our eyes and thinking about lightning or flash. He says it is a prayoga which they do as a part of Shrotra Yaga. So 4 meditations have been prescribed. That is Vidyut Upasana, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಉನ್ಮೇಷ ನಿಮಿಷ, blinking of the eye upasana, vritti upasana, and saguna ishvara upasana. Though we call the word as upasana, in the Vedic lore it is using those mantras in Shrauta Yaga, doing the parayana of those mantras. And there is a devata for each mantra, that is Agni, Vayu, Indra, and Haimavati. So that is the usage in Vedic period. So what we can understand is we can continue to do the Swadharma, and whatever Ishtadevata Dhyanam we are doing, we can continue in this time, which can give us Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagratha. With this, the Upanishad concludes. We will just go through a very brief, means one shloka and the brief meaning, and we'll finish off. First mantra, third chapter. One second. Brahma devebhyo vijigye tasya brahmano vijaye vijaye deva amahiyanta ta aikshanta asmakam evayam vijaya asmakamevayam mahimeti. So Brahma devebhyo vijigye. Brahma here means the Saguna Brahma, the Ishvara, the eternal one. Devebhya means the Devatas, Agni, Vayu, Indra. Vijigye means they won the war against Asuras. I am telling word by word meaning so that you can understand. Vijigye Devaha, the gods won the war against Asuras. Amahiyanta. How did they win the war? They said it is because of our own self-effort we won the war against Asuras. Asmakam eva ayam. Only because of us we won the war. And this glory, Mahimrita, that glory comes to us. Next. So here a grammar rule. There are a lot of grammar rules in the third and fourth mantra. I am skipping, but whichever is relevant, I am telling. The Aikshanta is there. The Aikshanta means they thought in the following manner. What did they think? That the victory, what we got against Asuras, is by our self-effort. Ta Aikshanta, because of the Sandhi rule, it becomes Te Aikshanta. Te is Devaha. So they had the Garva problem. Remember Gita 16 chapter, Manitvam, Dambhitvam, Atmana Shlaganam. Next. Hope you are getting, I'll just go like this, fine, na? Tadhaisham vijignye tebhyoha pradurbhuva tanna vyajanata kimidam yakshamiti. What it says, tat vijignye, knowing well about their garvam, tebhyaha pradurbhuva, knowing about their garvam, the Lord wanted to teach them a lesson. How did he teach? He appeared before them, before the Devatas. Pradurbhuva means appeared. The Lord did not appear too far, not too close. He appeared in such a way that they could hear and see something. They could hear and see something. Tat na vyajanata. But they never understood what was that divine being. The Devatas could not understand what that divine being was because it was very close, not too close, but not too far. Like our dream. We dream as if that it is right happening in the waking state. Only thing that we have to open the eyes and say it was dream. It's very close. So, Vyajanata Kim idam yakshamiti. Who is this yaksham? The yaksha means an adorable one. Swami Chinmayanda in his commentary, he gives a meaning, an adorable spirit. That is also fine. A divine being is a better word. A divine being appeared in front of the Devatas, but the Devatas did not know who it was. Next. Te Agnimabruvan Jataveda etad vijanihi Kimetad yakshamiti tathethi. So Saguna Brahma, that is Ishvara, appeared in front of them. That Ishvara is called as Yakshaha here. Yakshaha means a divine being, an adorable spirit. See, with respect to Asuras, you cannot teach them. And even if you teach, they don't understand. And even if they understand, they don't follow the teaching. That is why they are called as Asuras. Even after 100 times telling or teaching the truth, you are the consciousness principle. Always think from that angle. Never be part of this body-mind identification. People will not understand. Then what are we, Devas or Asuras? Asuras. That is the same mistake even the higher Devatas are doing. Don't cry unnecessarily. Don't make fuss of life. Everything, take it lightly. Nothing will happen. Means not much reality to be given unnecessary. If we don't understand and if we fight for everything in life, then we are Asuras only. Rakshasas, better. Asura is a different word, Rakshasas. So here, what I want to tell is, however much we teach, or Asuras will not understand. But that is not with respect to Devas, because Devas are having some Sattva Gunaha. So though they are having Garvaha, Ahankara, Dambaha, but because of Sattva Guna, they will understand the teaching and sooner or later they will follow the teaching. That is why the Lord have appeared in front of them and want to teach them a lesson. When Yaksha appeared in front of them, but they could not see who that Yaksha was. That was already a shock for them. As I told before, a Devatas can see anything and everything. It is not like us. They can read our minds. They can see what is happening in the future, what the world would be. From the higher lokas only, they can just peep and see what is happening in the earth. But when Yaksha appeared, they could not see. That was a shock for them. For example, we have eyes. Suddenly, something happens to our eyes and it becomes blur, or we lose the eyesight. Doesn't we have a shock immediately? Because few moments we are able to see many things. Now, when something is blocking, we are at shock because we are not able to see anything. The same thing happened to Devatas also. They were blurred with their vision. They could not see the Ishvara because of their ahankara. So understand that we cannot see our own consciousness, appreciate our consciousness. We cannot claim our higher identity because of not ahankara, because of deha abhimana. Next. ಇದು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ te agni jata. Okay. Te Agnim Abruvan. Aita. I have not told the meaning. Te Agnim Abruvan. So Agni is told to go out first. Of all the devatas, Agni was sent first. Why? Agnihi. Agre Gamayati iti Agnihi. For all the yagas, he should be there. Agre Gamayati Agnihi. He has to take all the offerings and postmaster, no? He should give to all the devatas. And they could have just told Agni, please go and see who is that devata. But they wanted to ಅದೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಚೂ ಬಿಡೋದು ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಹಂಕಾರವನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದು ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೆದ್ರು, ಹೇ ಜಾತವೇದ, ಹೇ ಜಾತವೇದ, ಮೇ ಯು ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅಡೋರಬಲ್ ಒನ್ ಯಕ್ಷ. ಹೇ ಅಗ್ನಿ, ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿ ಅನ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹೇ ಜಾತವೇದ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಜಾತವೇದಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? ಜಾತಂ ಜಾತಂ ವೇತ್ತಿ ಇತಿ ಜಾತವೇದ. ಜಾತಃ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಜಾತವೇದ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. ವೇತ್ತಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಹೂ ನೋಸ್. He is a sarvajna, he knows everything. When he knows everything, and when Yaksha came, he could not see who that Yaksha was. Next, fourth. Tadabhyadravata, tadabhyavadat, tamabhyavadat, कोसीति अग्निर्वा अहमस्मीति अब्रवीत जातवेदा वा अहमस्मीति. Then Agni thought of Agni rest. Tad abhravat means Agni rest, ran and wanted to see the Yaksha, the adorable one. And having ran, he wanted to ask who that Yaksha was to Yaksha himself, that the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, not Old Testament or New Testament. Because Holy Spirit will come only in their books. That is why they act like a spirit. Holy Spirit means holy being. An adorable one. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ this English translation is problem. Adorable spirit ಅಂತ ಕರೆದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Divine being is the best word. So Agni ran towards a divine being and wanted to ask who the divine being for that Ishvara itself. But what did the Ishvara do, or what did the Ishvara did? He asked Agni, who are you? When I am a celebrity and I feel that everybody should know me because I am a celebrity. But here what did the Ishvara, the Lord did? He asked Agni, who are you? Already the devatas are under frustration because they did not see who that Yaksha was, a divine being was. Added to that, the Lord is asking, who are you? So he got pricked. Then Agni said, all the mantras, this is not there in the mantra, I am adding. So add madbekalla. All the mantras are related to me, Agni. Agni Mile Purohitam. First mantra, it's only me. There is Agni Suktam. Without me, nothing can happen in the yaga. And that Yaksha is asking, who are you? Then Agni says, then Akshay says, Aham Agni Ahamasmi. Nodi allo Aham Brahmasmi anta helidare, Aham Agni Asmi. Who are you anta if we ask, I am so and so Swami. If they ask you, you are so and so. All the properties will come. But who am I really? We don't know. Just as Agni did the mistake, we are also doing the mistake. He says, Jataveda va ahamasmiti. I am verily the Agni. Next. Tasmin stvayi kim vayurmiti. Kim vayurmiti. अपीदं सर्वं दहेयं यदिदं पृथिव्यामिति. What do you do? He asked. The divine being asked, "What do you do, Agni?" He said, "Sarvam daheyam. I will burn everything which is on the earth. I am capable of burning." Next. Tasmai trinam nidadhave taddaheeti tadupapreyaya sarvajavena tanna shashaka dadduhu satat eva nivavrite naitadashakam विज्ञातुं यते तद् यक्षमिति. But the divine being, the Lord asked, "You need not burn anything. May you please burn this blade of grass. That is enough for me. Don't show off much. You are nothing." So here where Agni became humbled. There might be 600 or 2000 mantras for Agni in the entire Vedic literature. He could one bit of a blade of grass, not even full blade, a tip of the blade of grass. Tip. He says, Trunam. Trunam means a blade of grass. And the Lord placed there where Nidadhau means he placed a blade of grass in front of Agni. Here you should see, though Agni is very close to Surya, to the divine being, the Lord is not feeling the heat of the Agni. Isn't it? That itself shows that Agni is powerless. And having come closer to the Lord, and Lord is not feeling the heat, and he is telling you, please burn a tip of this blade of grass. Then Agni could not burn. He tried all the methods. He sat on that, he slept on that, slept on the blade. Nothing happened. And then he returned back, saying that I could not burn. I did not know who that Yaksha was. Next. Athavayum abruvan vayave tadvijanihi kimetad yakshamiti tathethi. Then he came back. Swami Paramarthanda calls us dugout. The batsmen, when they enter, they do all kinds of exercises. They change their bat position, they run here and there, and they do exercises as if they will hit six or something. And first ball out, duck. He had to return back. Now the second batsman, who is that Vayu, is coming. And same thing. What happened? Atha Vayum Abravan Vayuvetat. They sent the other person, other Devata, Vayu, to find out who the divine being was. And he agreed. Next. Tadabhyadravat tamabhyavadat kositi vayureva aham asmityabhavit matarishva va aham asmiti. Because Agni is anyway arrogant. Vayu is still more arrogant. Why, you know? Tasmatva etasmad akasha sambhutah akashat vayuhu vayor agni. First Vayu, then Agni. So father. So he is still more arrogant. They sent Vayu. That is why he is called as in the next mantra as Matarishva. Matarishva means walking just like that in the sky. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಾಲ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು Matarishva means just walking. We will say, see how he's walking. And nobody, for a person, they just walk. Just walk means what? Ahankara. Somebody tells somebody that you are worthless. That is one view. Worthless means how? What do you know? I have done so much, so many things. You don't know anything. So walking like Matarishva. Even if we have great positive traits, then also we see low upon others and just we walk. I am so and so of the company. I manage many people, 300 people under me, 1,000 people under me. That person who can manage 300 people in the office, but he can't manage himself or herself. Matarishva. So by these stories, we have to learn a lot of things. Why story is told? One, yes, for when somebody can't understand the Nirguna Brahman, yes, the story is told so that they can come to Nirguna Brahman through Saguna Brahman. But other things are to develop good virtues. That is why story is told. So Vayu came. Same. Who are you when the divine being asked? Vayu wanted to ask like Agni. In fact, the divine being asked Vayu, who is it? Then he said, I am Matarishva. Matarishva. Matarishva andre. Matarishva andre, I move in the sky, I don't touch the ground. I don't touch the ground. Because Matari means Akasha. Shva means which moves. It is derived from the root word Shvi. Shvayati. Shvi means Shvayati, Gachati, Matarishva. To move. Next, Tasmins Tvai Kim Vayurmiti. Tvai Kim Vayurmiti. Huh? Viryamiti. Apidam Sarvamadadiya. Yadidam Pritivyamiti. What is your profession, O Vayu? And the Holy Spirit asked. The divine being asked, what is your profession? Then he said, I can blow away everything which is on the earth. With just my presence, I can blow away. Then the divine being told, you need not do that. You just blew away, as in English correct, the tip of the grass. Tasmai trunam nidadhado etad adhasveti. Tadupapreyaya sarvajavena tanna shashankadutam satata eva nivavrute naitadashakam vijnatum yatedadyakshamiti. Simple. So he came, he could not move the grass with his power of wind. So Vayu came back and another duck-out. Second person also at 0. Here, Swami Dayananda Saraswati nicely tells, how was the walk? It is a joke, don't take it serious. How was the walk? He compares the walk between a brahmachari and a grihastha. How a grihastha walks and how a brahmachari walks. For brahmachari, what is there to keep? He just roams around happily. And how a grihastha walks as if everything was in his head. Have to do that, have to do this. Where is time? So many responsibilities on my head. Where is for brahmachari? What responsibility he has? So comparing the walk between Vayu and Agni to a Grihastha and Brahmachari. Nice comparison. So he also went back, and then what? Atedram abhruvan makavan yetad vijanihi kim yetad yakshamiti tatheti tadeti tad abhyadravat tasmat nirodhade. Now the third batsman, Indra, has come. Here, at least with Agni and Vayu, Yaksha spoke to them, asked, "Who are you?" They wanted to ask, the Devatas wanted to ask, but Yaksha only asked, the divine being. But as and when he started going, the third batsman, that is Indra, Yaksha disappeared. Yaksha disappeared. Indraha means what? Ahankara Murti. Indraha is equal to Ahankara Murti. This shows how humble we should be in front of Devatas, in front of elders, in front of the Guru. Yaksha, the Devata, the divine being, Yaksha, he just disappeared. Think for a person who is highly egoistic, who knows everything. They think they know everything. When Bhagavan did not give a slight vision also to them, he just disappeared. The more humble we are, better to be a spiritual person. Not only with respect to the parents, the elders, the Guru, with respect to anything, we should be humble. So then Indra came, the god sent Indra, and he disappeared. Now, the 12th one. Sa tasmin evakashe striyamajagama bahushobhamanam umam haimavatim tam hovacha kimetad yakshamiti. Okay. So now after some time we have to pause. Here the story continues. When Yaksha disappeared, Indra knew what mistake he did. He repented, saying that my arrogance, my ahankara, dambha, darpa is the problem for not seeing that divine spirit. Then he consoled himself. All the devatas sat in a round table conference. Yes, this is the mistake what I have done. Let us not do this mistake. And they did some sadhana. We have to add. And they fell at the devatas. That holy yaksham, they called the holy yaksham mentally. They invoked. And the devata, the holy divine being, that is Saguna Ishvara, sent Umam Haimavati. She came as a mother. She came. And as a Brahma Vidya teacher, she came and taught them this Upanishad Vidya. How does they introduce? Bahushobhamanam, beautifully ornamented. With that, she came and taught them. Sa brahmeti hovacha brahmano va etad vijaye mahiyadvam iti tato haiva vidanchakara brahmeti. So Umam Haimavatim Bahushobhamanam, she said that whatever you devatas saw, it was nothing but the Sakshat Parabrahma, that is the Lord himself. So now please don't mistake that Yaksha, who is a divine being, came as a flash and went, so that I also should see all this. This is a story. Don't take that literally, that I should also see that Devata come in a flash and all. Please don't have that kind of a mindset. It's a story, that's all. Because 2 chapters it is Nirguna Brahman, that we did not understand. That's why story means problem. So I also keep my eyes shut like this. So waiting for that flashy divine experience. Don't do that. So that Devi instructed saying that whatever you saw is nothing but Brahman. Means when the Deha Abhimana Ahankara Darpa goes, our true nature comes. That is how we have to understand. Next, Tasmadva ete deva Tasmadva ete deva atitara mivanyan devan Yadagnir Vayur Indrasthe Hyonneshtam Pasprashuhu Pasprashuhu antideli Pasprashuhu Te Hyonat Prathamo Vidanchakara Brahmeti. Then everybody were happy, they got the Brahma Vidya knowledge and they congratulated each other and said, yeah, we also have realized. Something other. Tasmadva Indro itaram Ivanyan Devan Sahyonneshtidam Pasparsha Sahyonat Prathamo Vidanchakara Brahmeti. Then the Indra touched the Holy Spirit. Touched the Holy Spirit and they literally he could see that his consciousness is everything. And then he congratulated all the other devas. He was the first one to see. Indra, though he had Damba and Ahankara, and he repented. So that devas, Humam Haimavatim came and instructed the spiritual knowledge, gave the spiritual Upadesha to him. Here Upadesha means not Mantra Upadesha. Upadesha means here teaching. Told that who the divine being was. Here we should understand that is the divine being was none other than the consciousness. He could see that through Sattva Guna and he realized what was his nature. 3 to 9, it is the Upasana. Then the Devatas instructed. Devatas means Umam Haimavati instructed them 4 Upasanas. In Samaveda, it is called as Prayoga Kramaha. In another Yaga? Some Yaga. And in the Mantra 7, one second. In the Mantra 7, there is some change. Upanishadam Bo Bruhiti Uktata Upanishad Brahmim Vavata Upanishadma Braveti. So what here it says is, there are other students in the class. They said they were sleeping until now, until all 4 chapters. Suddenly they got up. Suddenly, they didn't know, something happened, I think. Maybe the tiredness went off. And they said to teacher, oh teacher, may you please tell what Upanishad is. Entire 4th chapter, the teacher is talking about Upanishad, what is Brahma Vidya. And as a very confident person, see the mantra. 1 second. Upanishadam Bo Bruhiti. Oh teacher, may you please talk about Upanishad after 4 chapters. Then the teacher got angry and told that, may you please do Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga. Again, same repetition. For you in this Janma, Upanishad knowledge is not possible. Because you are sleeping, always sleeping, or having sleepy mood. It is not possible for you. Having told all the two chapters about the Nirguna Brahman Saguna Brahman, and also advising through a story, then also if one cannot understand like this, that person who was always sleeping, who was always in the tamoguna pravritti, then the answer is karma yoga, followed by upasana yoga, some kind of meditation, some kind of swadharma anushtana, and then approaching a guru and then gaining atma jnanam. With this, the Upanishad is over. Om Sham Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.